Are you tired of hearing the same old promises that leave you feeling let down? Everywhere you turn, there's a new claim to lose 10 pounds in a week or drop 2 sizes in a month. From flashy social media ads to magazine covers at the supermarket, it seems like everyone's telling you that quick, effortless weight loss is within reach. But let's be real, these so-called miracle solutions rarely deliver the lasting results they promise. In fact, for many of us, they leave us feeling more frustrated, more drained, and, in some cases, even heavier than before. And here's why. The weight loss industry is built on fueling our insecurities and frustrations. It's a billion-dollar machine designed to pull us in with flashy images, magic supplements, and promises of overnight transformations. Think about it. How often have you seen ads with impossible claims? Before and after photos, miracle products, celebrity endorsements, and proven diet plans that claim to be your answer to a thinner, healthier you. But is any of this really the answer? If these methods worked, wouldn't we see long-term results instead of a constant cycle of new diets and products? I'm here to tell you that there's a way to cut through the noise and find a method that's simple, sustainable, and backed by the science of how our bodies actually work. Imagine a weight loss strategy that doesn't rely on drastic changes to your diet, endless calorie counting, or painful restriction. Imagine a way to support your body's natural fat-burning processes, even while you sleep. This isn't a gimmick, it's rooted in biology, and is an approach you can start applying right away. Sound too good to be true? I get it. After all, we've all been conditioned to think that weight loss has to be complicated, exhausting, and restrictive. But stay with me, because I'm going to break down one of the most straightforward approaches you'll ever come across. It's based on our body's ancient survival mechanisms and is as close to natural as it gets. What if I told you that one of the best ways to achieve steady, sustainable fat loss lies in adjusting when you eat rather than obsessing over what you eat? In today's fast-paced world, the food we eat is everywhere, and so are the pressures to eat constantly. It's no wonder that our bodies, biologically wired to store fat, are responding in ways that lead to weight gain. And here's where the real challenge lies. Our bodies are designed to hold on to fat. It's a survival mechanism that's helped our species thrive for millennia. So, what does this mean for us today, in a world where food is abundant? And how can we leverage this understanding to help our bodies work for us, not against us? If you're curious, keep watching because this might just be the most practical and empowering approach you've ever encountered. This is about aligning with how your body actually works and, as a result, effortlessly burning fat over time, including when you're at rest or even sleeping. Let's face it, we're a society that's become deeply obsessed with food and convenience. Every street corner seems to be home to a fast food restaurant. Every gas station stocked with processed snacks and sugary treats are within arm's reach no matter where we go. Over the last few decades, this environment of constant, easy access to food has led to a significant increase in obesity and weight-related health issues. In the United States alone, more than 70% of adults are classified as overweight, with approximately 40% considered obese. And it's not just the US. Around the world, countries with fast-growing economies are seeing similar trends as their populations gain more access to quick, calorie-dense foods. But why has managing weight become such a challenge? Why is it that, despite endless diets, programs, and products, losing weight and keeping it off seems to be so hard for so many of us? The answer lies in our biology, specifically in the evolutionary mechanisms our bodies developed over thousands of years to help us survive. For most of human history, food scarcity was a constant threat. Our ancestors lived in environments where there were no guarantees of regular meals. Instead, they lived through cycles of feast and famine, where food wasn't always available. So, our bodies adapted to this unpredictable availability by becoming highly efficient at storing energy. Whenever food was available, our ancestors would eat as much as they could, storing the excess calories as body fat to be used during lean times when food was scarce. Fat storage wasn't just a convenience, it was essential to survival. Those who could store fat effectively were more likely to survive periods of scarcity, passing on this trait to future generations. Fast forward to today, and our survival instincts don't serve us as well in an era of food abundance. Our bodies are still primed to store calories efficiently, even though most of us no longer face periods of famine. Instead, we live in a world of abundance, where calorie-dense foods are everywhere. Processed foods, rich in refined carbohydrates and sugars, encourage rapid weight gain because they're digested quickly and leave us hungry soon after eating, leading us to consume even more. And let's not forget the constant messaging we get from the media, which often promotes eating as a way to reward ourselves, celebrate, or handle stress. Over time, this creates a cycle of overeating, making weight loss feel like an almost impossible battle. So, why don't traditional diets work for most people? Many conventional diets focus on restricting specific food groups or severely cutting calories. We're told to eat fewer carbs, avoid fats, or skip sugars, often leading us to obsess over what we can and cannot eat. While these restrictive approaches may result in short-term weight loss, they often fail to provide lasting results. This is because they go against our body's natural tendencies and survival instincts. The deprivation can lead to feelings of fatigue, irritability, and hunger, which makes it hard to stay on track. And in many cases, once the initial weight is lost and normal eating habits resume, the weight comes back, sometimes even more than before. This is known as the yo-yo effect, where people repeatedly lose and regain weight, often damaging their metabolism in the process. Our bodies are designed to protect us against starvation, not to make us slim. When we drastically reduce our calorie intake or restrict entire food groups, our bodies respond by slowing down our metabolism to conserve energy. This adaptive response made sense when food was scarce. Slowing down the metabolism allowed early humans to survive longer without food. But in a world where food is constantly available, this slowed metabolism can make it even harder to lose weight over the long term. Another common issue with traditional diets is that they often require intense planning and meal prep, calorie counting, or tracking every bite. This can lead to mental fatigue, as constantly monitoring food intake can be exhausting. Plus, the emphasis on what not to eat can create a negative relationship with food, making eating feel like a chore or a source of stress rather than nourishment. In the end, many people abandon these diets because they're too restrictive or unsustainable in the long run. So, what if there were a different way to approach weight loss? One that works with your body's natural instincts rather than against them? Enter the warrior diet, an eating strategy that focuses on when you eat rather than what you eat. This approach was popularized by Ori Hofmeckler, who studied the habits of ancient warriors and modern-day athletes to develop a method based on cycles of fasting and feasting. The basic concept is simple. Instead of eating 3 square meals a day with snacks in between, you consume one main meal in the evening and fast throughout the rest of the day. The science behind the warrior diet is rooted in the idea of using intermittent fasting to activate your body's fat-burning mechanisms. By fasting during the day, you force your body to burn stored fat for energy rather than relying on a constant influx of calories. This aligns with how our ancestors ate: periods of scarcity, fasting, followed by periods of abundance, feasting. When you go for extended periods without food, your body enters a state called ketosis, where it burns stored fat for energy. This is your body's way of adapting to a low-energy environment by using its own fat stores as fuel. And because our bodies evolved to function in these cycles, fasting can actually help improve metabolic health, increase fat-burning efficiency, and provide a more sustainable approach to weight management. So, why focus on timing instead of restricting certain foods? Our modern lifestyles make it hard to stick to strict diets. We're constantly exposed to food, and the temptation to snack or indulge is always there. With the warrior diet, you don't have to eliminate entire food groups or give up the foods you enjoy. Instead, you simply condense your eating window to one meal, allowing you to eat satisfying portions without worrying about overeating or counting every calorie. This approach works with your body's natural rhythms, giving you the freedom to eat without constantly worrying about what's on your plate. Not only does this align with how our ancestors ate, but it also gives your body a break from constant digestion, allowing it to focus on repairing and regenerating itself. Studies have shown that fasting can lead to numerous health benefits, including improved insulin sensitivity, reduced inflammation, and even increased longevity. So, with the warrior diet, you're not just supporting fat loss, you're enhancing your overall health. So, if you're tired of restrictive diets and looking for an approach that respects your body's natural tendencies, the Warrior Diet might be worth a try. It's about finding a balance that's sustainable, easy to follow, and, most importantly, works with your biology rather than fighting against it. The most effective solution is to adopt a lifestyle that aligns with our body's natural rhythms and biological needs, rather than constantly fighting against them. Instead of focusing on restrictive diets or extreme calorie counting, a sustainable approach like the Warrior Diet can be highly effective. By shifting the focus to when you eat rather than obsessing over what you eat, you encourage your body to utilize stored fat for energy, supporting steady, natural weight loss. This method respects the body's evolutionary design for periods of fasting and feasting, which not only promotes fat burning but also enhances metabolic health and energy balance. It's a simple yet powerful solution that allows for flexibility, as you're not cutting out any specific food groups. The Warrior Diet, introduced by Ori Hofmeckler, takes a revolutionary yet ancient approach to eating. Unlike the typical 3 meals a day with snacks in between, this diet simplifies things drastically. You eat 1 main meal a day. Yes, just 1 meal. The concept might sound radical, but let's unpack why it works so effectively for fat loss. How it works: fasting and feasting. Our bodies have a preferred fuel source: carbohydrates. When you eat frequently, especially foods high in carbs, your body constantly burns these carbs for energy and stores any excess as fat. However, when you limit eating to 1 main meal, your body has hours without a fresh supply of carbs. This fasting period forces it to switch fuel sources, tapping into stored fat for energy. During fasting, your insulin levels drop, which encourages fat burning. In fact, after roughly 8 to 10 hours of fasting, your body starts burning stored fat as a primary fuel source. This process, known as ketosis, can continue while you sleep, meaning that, yes, you're actually burning fat even as you rest. Why 1 meal? When you eat a single, well-balanced meal daily, you give your body the nutrients it needs without overwhelming it with calories. This approach doesn't just encourage fat loss, but also keeps your metabolism stable, which prevents the kind of muscle loss or metabolic slowdown that often accompanies extreme diets. And here's the best part: it's sustainable. You don't have to avoid entire food groups or spend hours planning meals. You eat what you enjoy in 1 satisfying meal and allow your body to take care of the rest. So, there you have it, a straightforward, no-nonsense approach to weight loss that respects your body's natural rhythms and encourages sustainable fat burning. By embracing the Warrior Diet, you're not only setting yourself up for fat loss, but also improving metabolic health, energy levels, and mental clarity. No gimmicks, no restrictive meal plans, just a focus on when you eat rather than obsessing over what you eat. The beauty of this method is in its simplicity. You're working with your body, not against it, to achieve a natural, gradual weight loss that actually lasts. And remember, the goal isn't to deprive yourself, but to redefine your relationship with food and timing. So why wait to start? Imagine waking up each day, knowing that your body is burning fat even as you sleep. Imagine the freedom of eating without restriction, focusing on nourishment rather than numbers. Ready to transform your body and lifestyle? Start small. Delay your breakfast, increase your fasting window, and see how you feel. Or if you're ready to jump right in, pick up a copy of The Warrior Diet by Ori Hofmeckler. This book provides deeper insights, strategies, and a step-by-step guide to making this transition safe and effective. And don't forget, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more life-changing health tips, and share this with someone who's tired of the same old diet promises. Let's make wellness simple, effective, and accessible for everyone. Until next time, stay healthy and empowered.